Entry 2329/04/04. Morning was clean. Kettle went hiss, shh, and I caught myself humming like an idiot. 10:26. A single distant pop, then another, like fireworks but wrong. The birds kept chirping, too fast, too sharp. I laughed, at myself for being jumpy. The neighbor's dog barked once, then went quiet. 21:03. Radio gave me a thin whine, ee, under the music. I turned it off, but the quiet felt louder. Entry 23rd of April, 2006. The water tap coughed, cook, cook, before it ran. It tasted like metal, like old pennies. 12:11. A flyer on the pole said, "Stay indoors." No stamp, no signature. The paper was already damp. I heard laughter outside, kids maybe, then it snapped off like someone cut the line. No footsteps after. 1942. Sirens started late, wow, far away. This time nobody looked up. We just went quiet together. Entry 2329/04/07. Morning should be loud here. Birds, radios, footsteps. Today was just wind through empty streets. 9:58. The store line didn't argue. Nobody joked. Coins clinked, like we were paying at a funeral. 16:33. A truck rolled by, slow, no markings. Someone inside coughed. Then the door slammed. 23:10. I tried to sleep, but the radio hiss came back, even with the power off. Maybe it was in my head, maybe not. Entry 2329/04/08. The neighbor's door was open. The dog bowl was still full. No barking, no leash, just nothing. 8:44. I stepped inside and heard a soft drip, tick, tick, from the sink. The air smelled like soap and old sweat. On the table, a half-written note. The pencil snapped in two, like someone gripped it too hard. I didn't read the words. 22:19. Outside, something scraped along the street. Shruck, shruck. Slow, patient. I stayed still until it passed. Entry 2329/04/09. I keep saying it's fine out loud, just to hear a human voice. Mine. 11:32. A knock, tock, tock, on the stairwell door. I answered. No reply. Then a faint giggle. And silence. I didn't open it. I wrote that down so I remember. I did not open it. My hand hurts from gripping the latch. 20:06. The city lights flickered once, blink, and died. After that, even the insects stopped singing. Entry 23rd of April, 10. Dawn came late, or maybe I slept through it. The air felt thicker, like breathing through wet cloth. 9:13. Footsteps in the hallway. Slow. Slow. Then they stopped at my door. No knock. Just waiting. I held my breath. My stomach made a tiny sound, gurk, and I hated my own body for betraying me. 18:50. I found a feather on the windowsill. Clean, white. No birds, no wind, just the feather. Entry 2329/04/11. I counted my food. 3 days if I don't panic eat. 2 if I do. 10:05. Water in the bottle had a film on top, thin, oily. When I shook it, it made no sound, like it was too heavy. Downstairs, someone was whispering through the mail slot, "Sss, sss," like calling a cat. I didn't answer. 2327. I heard my own name once, softly, perfectly, from a voice that wasn't mine. Entry 2329/04/12. I promised myself I wouldn't go outside. Then my throat started to burn. Thirst doesn't negotiate. 9:40. I packed light, knife, cloth, matches. The zipper went zip too loud in the quiet, and I froze. The stairwell smelled like damp earth. Halfway down, something exhaled below me. Slow, patient. I went back up, not because I'm brave, because I'm still alive, and I want to keep it that way. Entry 2329/04/13. I couldn't stay in. The room felt like a box sinking underwater. I needed air, even bad air. 8:22. Outside was quiet in the wrong way. No birds, no dogs, just a distant clatter, clink, clink, like metal tapping stone. I found a shoe in the street. One shoe, clean laces, like it was set down on purpose. Under it, drag marks. I didn't follow the marks. I wrote them down instead. That's what this notebook is for. Entry 2329/04/14. I heard someone calling for help, faint, broken. It came from 2 streets over. Then it came from behind me. 10:09. I answered once, just, "Hey." The reply was my own voice, pitched wrong, like a recorder played too slow. I laughed, because that's what my body does when it's terrified. Then I stopped laughing fast. 18:31. Back inside, I washed my hands until the water ran clear. My skin went raw. The feeling didn't leave. Entry 2329/04/15. I haven't slept right in days. Every time I close my eyes, I hear it. Shh, like breath in my ear. 6:12. I made coffee out of habit. The spoon clinked, clink, and the sound startled me so hard I almost dropped the cup. 13:04. I saw movement in the window reflection and swung the knife. It was my own arm, my own shadow. 21:50. I wrote the wrong date at first. That scared me more than the footsteps. If I lose the record, I lose myself. Entry 2329/04/16. The water turned, not cloudy, alive. A thin skin, slow bubbles, and a smell like warm pennies. 7:33. I tried boiling it. The pot went tick, tick, and the steam carried that same smell into my face. I gagged. 10:18. In the hallway, someone dragged something heavy, shook, and stopped outside my door like they were listening. I'm going out tomorrow. Not because I want to, because I don't have a choice. I want to live. Entry 2329/04/17. I left my apartment before sunrise. The corridor outside my door smelled like damp concrete and cold dust. 05:21. In the stairwell, something clicked, tick, tick, not footsteps, like nails on tile. I didn't look down. Outside, the street was littered with paper and ash. A street sign kept tapping, tap, tap, though there was no wind. I found a bottle of water in a trash bin, sealed, too clean. I didn't drink it. I carried it like evidence. Entry 2329/04/18. The sealed bottle sat on my table all day. I kept listening for it, like it might make a sound. 11:06. I twisted the cap, and the smell hit me first. Not water, something sweet and rotten. I screwed it back on. In the corridor outside my door, I found a note tucked under the mat. No handwriting, printed letters cut from packaging. It said, "Don't trust the voices." I laughed. Then I realized my laughter didn't sound like mine. Entry 2329/04/19. New rule. I don't answer anyone. Not through the door, not through walls, not even if they say my name. 7:58. Someone whispered in the corridor outside my door, soft, polite. "Kaito, are you okay?" Like a friend checking in. I covered my mouth with my sleeve so I wouldn't breathe too loud. My heart thumped, thump, thump, like it wanted to answer for me. After a while, the voice sighed, and said, "Okay." Then I heard it walking away, and then walking back. Entry 2329/04/20. I mapped the building on the back page. Stairwell, roof access, fire door. I didn't notice how small it was until I drew it. 9:31. The fire door was chained shut. The chain looked new, clean metal in a dirty world. It rattled when I touched it. On the roof, the city was a flat, gray ocean. Somewhere far off, something wailed, long and hungry. I didn't wait to hear it twice. Back in my apartment, I checked the lock 3 times. Not because it helps, because it gives my hands something to do. Entry 23rd of April, 2021. Something moved in the building today. Not outside. Inside. The kind of movement you feel in your teeth. 7:14. In the corridor, I saw wet footprints, bare, long-toed. Then they stopped. There was no door they could have gone through. I heard a soft tapping above my ceiling. Tap. Tap. Like someone counting. It matched my breathing until it didn't. I stayed in my apartment all day. I didn't turn on the lights, not because it would help, just because I didn't want to be seen. Entry 2329/04/22. New rules. I'm writing them big, so I can't pretend I forgot. Rule 1. Don't say my name out loud, not even to prove I still exist. Rule 2. If you hear tapping, don't match it, don't answer it, don't count with it. Rule 3. Don't look through peepholes at night. If something wants to be seen, it will be. Entry 2329/04/23. I made a mistake today. Not a big one, the kind that becomes big later. 6:51. I heard tapping, tap, tap, and without thinking I tapped back once. Just once. My fingers moved on their own. The tapping stopped. Then I heard a soft, "Good," like I'd passed a test. My stomach dropped. All day I kept hearing my own tapping inside my head, even when my hands were still. Entry 23rd of April, 2024. Tonight the corridor outside my door smelled different, like wet coins and warm dust. I couldn't explain it. 23:12. Someone stood on the other side of my door and breathed, slow, slow, like they were trying to sync with me. I looked at the peephole. I didn't touch it. My eye hovered close enough to feel its cold glass. Then the breathing stopped. Not faded, stopped. And I understood the rule wasn't for them. It was for me. Entry 23rd of April, 2025. I didn't use the peephole. I sat with my back to the wall and waited for morning like it could save me. 3:18. The breathing returned, soft, polite, right outside my door. Then it moved away, and I heard it again, inside the vent. Something scraped in the duct. Shook, shook. Then a little click, like a nail finding metal. The air coming out was warm. I taped the vent shut until my fingers bled. It didn't stop the sound, it just made it quieter, close enough to feel. Entry 2329/04/26. I can't stay in this building, not after the vent. This place isn't shelter anymore. It's a trap. 0502. I packed without looking at the door. Every sound felt like a hand on my neck. Tap, creak, shh. In the stairwell, I heard my own voice ahead of me. This way. It was perfectly calm. That's how I knew it was lying. I went the opposite way. I didn't run. Running makes noise. I walked out like I belonged to the morning. Entry 23rd of April, 2027. Outside, the city feels wider than it should, like the streets are stretching to keep me from arriving anywhere. 7:40. I used alleys and broken fences. A loose can rolled, clank, and I froze, waiting for my name. It didn't come. Not yet. I found a storefront with the glass already shattered. Inside, someone had written on the wall, "Don't answer." The letters were fresh. I'm not the first one to run. That thought should comfort me. Instead, it makes me wonder where the others went. Entry 23rd of April, 2028. I met another person today. A real person. We both stared like we were afraid the other would blink wrong. He said his name was Luis. He asked mine. I lied. He nodded like he understood why. He told me a rule, quietly. If it speaks in your voice, don't answer. If it speaks in someone else's, don't trust it. When we separated, I heard a single sharp crack, pop, far down the street. Luis didn't turn around. Neither did I. Entry 23rd of April, 2029. I went back to the place where I met Luis. I don't know why. Habit, guilt, maybe hope. His footsteps were gone. So was his voice. Only his scarf remained on the curb, folded like someone tried to be polite. Under it, a smear. Not much, just enough to make my stomach drop. No, to make my blood go cold. I didn't touch anything. New rule, I don't collect souvenirs. The world leaves them for me. I don't want them. Entry April 30th, 2329. I didn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the scarf folded on the curb, like a gift, like a warning. 9:22. I heard Luis whistling, soft, casual, somewhere behind a wall. The same little tune he did yesterday. I didn't answer, I didn't follow, and just wrote it down. My hand shook anyway. I'm starting to understand. It doesn't need bodies. It needs replies. And I'm running out of silence. Entry May 1st, 2329. I saw lights tonight. Real lights, steady, warm, not the flicker of dying grid. Someone has power. 2017. The place was behind a chain-link fence, 2 figures on watch. I heard a low murmur of voices, real voices, then a laugh. I didn't call out. I watched from the dark. A sign on the gate said, "No calls, no names." That stopped my breath. If they have the same rules, they've met the same thing. That should mean safety. It also means it followed me here. Entry May 2nd, 2032-90. I didn't speak. I wrote water on cardboard and held it up from the dark like an offering. A flashlight blinked twice, then a hand sign, wait. No names, no questions, just rules. They opened a small hatch in the fence and slid out a bottle, sealed, cold, real. I almost cried. A voice inside the fence laughed, short, relieved. Then someone hissed, "Quiet!" Like quiet was religion. Entry. May 4th, 2032-90. They let me in without words. A finger to the lips, a look that said, survive or leave. The camp had signs everywhere. No calls, no names, don't answer. The same rules written by different hands. At night, someone played a card game in silence, only the soft slide of paper. No jokes, no shouting. Even victory was quiet. I realized something. They weren't safe because they were strong. They were safe because they were careful. Entry. May 6th, 2329. Raiders. I didn't see them first, I heard them. Distant whoops, a bottle breaking, someone chanting like it was fun. The watchers on the fence stiffened. One of them pointed at their own throat, "Don't talk," then pointed at the streets, "Don't go out." I wanted to ask what they do to survive raiders. Nobody answered. They just checked weapons and moved slower. That was the scariest part. They feared the noise more than the bullets. Entry. May 8th, in the year 2329. The attack started at dusk. Shouting, laughter. A name screamed from outside the fence. Gunfire cracked, pop, 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 and the fence rang with impacts. People inside stayed low, jaws clenched, refusing to yell back. The raiders taunted louder. "Come out! Answer me!" They kept calling names like keys, trying doors in the air. Then the street went wrong. Not quieter, emptier, like sound was being swallowed between the buildings. Entry. May 9th, in the year 2329. I heard the raiders first. Then I heard them stop. Not run, not hide. Just stop. A wet, scraping sound moved down the street. Shook, shook, and something clicked against metal like nails testing a cage. One raider screamed, a real scream ripped out of him. Then a second scream answered it, his own voice, wrong and slow. After that, there were no more words, only small sounds. A dropped magazine, a knee hitting pavement, breath that didn't belong to anyone. Entry. May 10th, in the year 2329. Morning showed the proof without showing the thing. Blood in a line, a boot, teeth marks on metal. Nobody celebrated, nobody said, "We're safe." They only fixed the fence silently and removed anything that could clatter. I found myself listening for laughter, for shouting, for any human noise. When I heard a cough, I wanted to cover their mouth. That's when I understood. The raiders didn't bring death. They brought an invitation. Entry. May 12th, in the year 2329. It came closer after the raid. Not every night, but enough. The camp's silence started to crack. Someone whispered my name in the dark, perfectly, softly, like a friend. I didn't move. A child began to cry somewhere, just a little sound. An adult hissed, "Shh." The crying stopped too fast. I wrote a new rule for myself. When the camp breaks, I leave. I won't wait to be answered. The tapping is back. Tap, tap, right on the door. My throat keeps moving like it wants to answer. I'm biting my tongue. It hurts. If you're reading this, I didn't